Hello everyone and welcome to another Throne and Liberty video. My name is Brian if you happen to be new to the channel, but I just want to say a special thank you. We are less than 100 subscribers away from the 75,000 subscriber marker here, so thank you guys so much for the support. And if this is a video that gets you to subscribe, sound off in the comments below so I can officially welcome you to the channel. But I've got some breaking news to cover. We're going to not bury the lead. We want to mark your calendars for 11/2/2023 because Throne and Liberty has announced its launch showcase. Now, a showcase in this case doesn't mean the launch date, but this tells me that we're going to see some big reveals. We're going to get a lot more details, and we're going to learn more about the rollout strategy for this game. This game has been pushed back for a global release to 2024, and I think that's the right call. This also, for those of you who are just kind of stumbling into the video and you don't know much about the game itself, well, it's an MMORPG. It's cross-play, cross-save on console, PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC. This is going to be published by Amazon, and they're also going to be handling the publishing rights for this game in Japan, which gives me a lot of hope that we're going to see Amazon step into that region. It's one of the lacking regions with New World and Lost Ark not having a representation from a global community audience, and so seeing that Throne of Liberty is going to be paving that way gives me hope that we're going to see that also for the other games as well. For me, somebody who loves playing on controllers, this game, obviously because it's console, will have controller-based support, and it is a PvE, PvP type game. There's a lot that we can go into, and if you're interested, check out my previous coverage here on the channel, and I think you should be able to get easily caught up to speed. I've been covering this game for a while now. But, so, as you're watching the trailer, as you're listening to the heart-pumping music in this video in and of itself, like, this is a really great teaser. And what this means to me, when we start to talk about the rollout plan, things have changed since they originally announced the game. First and foremost is that originally they were wanting to have this as a global launch, and there's a strength to that. There's also some weaknesses to that. The strengths are it's not a solved game. One of the problems that I see a lot of gamers express, obviously in the age of modern social media and just the internet in general, is that these games have all been solved. There's no mystery to them. We all know what the best builds are, etc., etc. And it's fun to be a part of that discovery phase before everything kind of falls into that meta. Everything kind of falls into that standardization of what ends up being considered, quote unquote, the best. So that's something that's interesting, but the change here is that they are going to stagger the releases. Korea is going to be going up first, most likely, and my thought is, being that this is a teaser for the November the 2nd, it's quite possible that still hits at the end of this year in Korea, and then early next year in 2024 for the global market. And that's actually, I'm personally perfectly fine with that. One of the weaknesses of global is everybody's going to go through the same growing pains as any other game out there. If you guys haven't heard me say this, I'm going to keep repeating it until y'all can quote me saying it before I even say it. But it takes you roughly 2 to 3 years for an MMO to truly kind of mature into not just a stable game, but a game that generally players who are playing it are pretty happy with it, where you're not necessarily running into bugs that really just overall frustrate you or take you out of the experience. So we've seen this with every MMO. You also have that population that really starts to really understand and expect various things of the game. And I think overall that's what we see. That's one of the strengths that Lost Ark had coming in to this market, is it had 3 years, 2.25 of experience already in Korea before they stepped into the global, and thus were able to have a lot of the problems that players have had solved. And so with Korea going up first for Throne and Liberty, this is that opportunity that they can have all of these, well, not all of the issues, but a good majority of issues solved, so that by the time you step into the game, your experience is ideal, or at least as ideal can be for a games as a service game at launch. Anybody who tells you that there's a smooth launch, like, there's degrees of smoothness there, there's that always going to be the case, but just expect queue times, just expect some level of struggle. So that is, so with November the 11th, not 11th, with November the 2nd, we've got we got 2 weeks, at the time of this recording, 2 weeks, 2 days until that date. And I expect that we're going to get release dates from this showcase. I expect that we're going to get a lot more information to cover here and talk about and break down and obviously solve the game. That's kind of what content creation is. But we're going to break down anything and everything that happens, especially any announcements that happen between then and now. But I kind of expect it to still be kind of on the quieter end unless we see Amazon update the official site, which is playthroneandliberty.com. And at the time of this recording, no official news about the showcase has been released to that site as well. So we've got a little bit to go. I thought this would be a little bit of a fun news break for you guys today. I'd love to hear your thoughts, especially if you want to start speculating on the release window. I'm still thinking first quarter 2024. It could shift into second quarter 2024, but that seems to be like a pretty substantial delay, especially if the Korean game releases in or at the end of this year. And so then you'd be looking kind of at a 6-month kind of lag, which is somewhat what they're doing with Blue Protocol. So that could just be how the math checks out with translations and voice acting and so much more. I don't envy them. I know it's a lot of work, but guys, that's going to be it for the video. Thank you so much for checking it out. If you feel like it earns it, hit that like button on your way out. Feel free to leave a comment below and subscribe if you haven't already. It's a great way of getting some video game content in your feed, as well as other stuff. That's probably the best way to summarize it. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful day, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. But until then, take care.